The story of Erwin Chargaff.
Erwin Chargaff was born into a wealthy family. His father owned a bank, and his parents were both well educated. And he also graduated into high school in Vienna. As a child, his home had a small library where he spent a lot of his time reading books about science and history. And even though he ended up being a scientist, in grade school, he actually was not taught science. They only focused on natural science. After college, he went to find a job in America, and then he was about to be deported before he was being rescued by a professor at Yale for recognizing him as a doctor.
So his education, at the outbreak of World War I, his family moved to Vienna and he attended Maximilian's Gymnasium. He learned Greek and Latin, and then he'll eventually learn and master 15 different languages. But as she said, he wasn't taught science there. He was an avid reader. And then at 18, he didn't know what to study. He didn't think he'd make a good physician, didn't want to be a teacher, and found commerce and business unattractive. So he chose chemistry because he knew nothing about it. He then attended Vienna University of Technology for 5 years and got a PhD in chemistry. That was at age 23. And then he quoted that he disliked chem a lot less than he expected to. And then he worked with Rudolf Anderson at Yale for 1 to 2 years.
Okay, so he discovered that the DNA had equal parts of adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. And he also found that the proportions of each one, it's different depending on the organism. And he also concluded that DNA carries the genetic information, because before that time, it was thought that the 20 different proteins or 20 different amino acids had carried the genetic information, because there's so many of them that it could carry each one.
You're breaking up, Olivia. Olivia.
Yeah. Where did I stop? Or where did I break up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you said that.
Can you hear me?
Included.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. You were talking about how they thought that the amino acids carry genetic information.
Oh yeah, because there's enough different types of amino acids that they could have the genetic information in them and have enough variations of it. And then that was it.
All right. Erwin Chargaff was forced to move to different countries several times in his life. In 1914, Erwin Chargaff and his family moved to Vienna when the Russian army captured his hometown, Czernowitz. In 1933, Chargaff saw Hitler rise to power as chancellor, and he decided to move from Berlin to Paris. In 1928, Chargaff was also held at the Ellis Island pending deportation on his way to the US to work with Yale scientists. And the immigration officer at the time found it suspicious that Chargaff's title was doctor, yet he had a student visa. And the Nobel Prize Committee never recognized Chargaff's contributions to the discovery of the structure of DNA.
And then these are his sites.